Now with the other topic, inshallah, which is the assessment of surface roughness of three types of resin composites by Osama Ahmed Al-Masri, Al-Farabi College of Dentistry and Nursing. Please welcome Mr. Osama. Start, please.
Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Osama Ahmed Al-Masri, Al-Farabi Colleges from Riyadh. Today I'm going to talk about the assessment of surface roughness of three types of resin composites. As we know, when teeth are affected by caries, they become weak against mechanical load, so it will lose its function gradually. The high inorganic filler content play an important role at this point. So such material are suited for stress-bearing situations like class 4. One of the most important tasks in our specialty is aesthetic demands and to achieve restoration that match color and appearance of natural tooth. Surface character is important for clinical behavior of the restoration material. Rough restoration not only increase the staining, but also increase the risk of secondary caries. Actually, the oral cavity is constantly contaminated by many diverse microbial species, which can also adhere to rough surface. There are many roughness parameters in use, but the most common one is arithmetic mean roughness. Arithmetic mean roughness is the average of all frames of profile filtered by measuring the length from the line of the reference profile. During polishing procedures, the filler particles of resin composites can be loosed, fractured, or removed, exposing the filler particles. The aim of this study is to evaluate the effect of polishing systems on the surface roughness of three types of resin composites. Here we can see in this figure, or in this table, the three types I mentioned before. The first one, heliomolar flow, which also known as flowable composite. The second one is TPH spectrum, which also known as microhybrid composite. And the third one is tetric ceram, which also known as buckable one, or buckable composite. The highest filler volume percentage was recorded for buckable composite, as we see here. Okay, about the material and methods, we used stainless steel mold to prepare 40 specimens from each material using molds covered with Miller strip glass slide. The samples were cured from the bottom and the top. So, okay, we have now 40 specimens or 40 samples in our study. We divided it into two groups. The first group is control group with 10 samples. The other 30 specimens were randomly divided into three groups to the polishing systems. As I mentioned here, the polishing systems, the first one is Soflex, the second one is Enhance, and the third one is Astrobal. And I will mention the reference or difference between of them. Okay, before polishing procedure, except the control group, finishing was performed with 30 micrometer diamond bare under water cooling for 10 seconds. The finishing bare was changed every 5 samples. Okay, regarding to the polishing systems, the three polishing systems as I mentioned in previous slide, for sample finished with Astrobal system, the first polishing system. Okay, with water cooling, the polishing procedures was prepared or done with gray rubber cap, followed by green rubber cap, and finally with the pink rubber cap. For seconds, for second enhanced system, or for second polishing system, the enhanced system with water cooling, the polishing system done by medium disc. The samples were rinsed with water for 10 seconds and air dried of 5 seconds between polishing based applications. For samples finished with Soflex system, the sample were polished with medium discs in dry field. About the measurement of surface roughness, the mean surface roughness was measured with profilometer. Who didn't know about profilometer? Profilometer is an instrument used to measure or to measure or calculate the surface profile in order to quantify the roughness of the material. It's an instrument. Okay, after recording the mean surface roughness, the collected data used to evaluate the mean surface roughness value. The objective data was subjected with one-way ANOVA at the significance level of alpha 0.05. Our results was, for all tested resin composite material, the control group exhibited the lowest values, which I said in the previous slide, the control group with 10 samples. We can see here the figure. This is the control group, the first group with 10 samples. And this is the 3 polishing systems in one group or different groups. About the Miller or control group, the Miller or control group recorded the lowest value among all groups. But about the polishing system, the Soflex recorded the lowest value between of them after finishing. Okay, as I mentioned in the figure, in our study, the groups finished with Soflex system recorded the lowest value. We can see here. Many factors was responsible for this result. Young referred this result to the ability of Soflex system to polish the whole material at the same level. But another study is in disagreement with this result. They mentioned the Soflex system gave rougher surface of resin composite than enhanced system. Another recent study, also in disagreement with our result, they found the smoothest surface were obtained with enhanced polishing system. In our study, as I said in the figure, the highest mean surface roughness value was recorded for Astrobal system. Sabra found the smoothest surface was recorded with Astrobal system. There is a difference. When comparing between the resin composites, as I said, flowable and backable and microhybrid, the flowable composite exhibited the lowest value between of them, followed by microhybrid, while the backable recorded the highest mean surface roughness. This results in accordance with another study. They suggested the larger filler particle size was the rougher surface. The conclusion of our study: the smoothest surface of resin composites can be achieved under Miller strip, as we say, the control group. But when we comparing between the polishing systems, the 3 polishing systems, after finishing procedures, the Soflex system recorded the lowest mean surface roughness value for all tested resin composite. Thank you all. I would like to thank Al Qasim University for organizing this conference. Thanks for Dr. Nader. Thanks for my colleague for coming with me. Thanks for all supporting from my college, Al Farabi College. That's all. Any questions?
Thank you so much, Mr. Osama.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this nice presentation. Any question from the audience? Tfadal.
Thank you for a presentation and a very nice study.
Thank you.
You just didn't mention that
Yes.
the studies which were in disagreement with
Yes.
your results, you did not mention why did this disagreement happen.
Yes, okay. This is good point, right? And I mentioned it in my research, but it's not here in the presentation. This is because of the study said the astrobal system have coarser surface. Because of that, he said the study said the astrobal system have coarser surface with backable one. So the highest value was with astrobal system.
No, what exactly did they compared the same materials?
You talk about the Soflex system?
No, I'm talking about you mentioned some studies that found that
In disagreement.
in disagreement. Okay, did they compare the same materials you used?
Yes.
They compared, for example,
Yes.
the same materials.
Yes.
Okay.
I
And they had a different
understand now.
result.
This is maybe for the polishing. Maybe
Yes.
they used another polishing systems.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's
yes.
what you should mention.
Yes.
Another thing is that you brought us back to what when composite resin started, and the best finish of composite was under the mailer strip.
I didn't.
When
hear.
composite started, before the early types of composite, like the second or third generation composite, the best finish for those, there were no polishing systems available, and polishing of composite was always brought out a chalky white appearance. So the best finish for composite at that time was under the mailer strip. That was the best, and you got the same result. But what's the problem with this? Can you rely on this on the long run? You finish the composite, you put the mailer strip or a transparent crown, and cure the composite, and then you would leave it like this without polishing, or do you recommend that?
You talk about the control group?
Yes.
Yes, without treatment. I mentioned that.
Would you do that in clinical practice? Would you put your composite
Without finishing?
and don't finish it?
No.
Why not?
Why not? Because it will be roughness surface and the black
It's a rough surface.
accumulate.
It's a rough surface.
Maybe with the when we put the composite with layering technique or like this, we make like roughness surface. We cannot control about the restoration, and maybe roughness surface. I didn't.
Was it the least? Which was in your all groups? Which had the least
Value?
surface roughness?
The least okay, the Soflex one.
The Soflex.
With the discs.
And how did the unfinished composite rank under the mailer strip among them?
The Miller, you talk about the Miller strip.
Yes.
The control group.
Yes.
Okay, you want to compare between
yes,
them?
Compare.
Compare between them. Okay, we concentrate about the polishing system because we do finishing in composite.
Was the mailer strip better or worse
Better or worse?
regarding surface roughness?
Regarding surface roughness. Okay, the study concentrate about the value between them. But what's the better 100% with Soflex? Because we need to finish our restoration.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, Doctor?
Any other questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this presentation. I'm Hamad Saleh from University of Dammam. So actually I have 3 questions.
Okay, no problem.
First of all, you haven't mentioned the profilimeter system that you used. Is it contact or optical profilimeter?
What?
The profilimetry system that you
Yes,
used.
the profilometer.
Is
Yes.
it optical or contact one?
Optical or contact?
Yes, profilimeter. So
No, it's
because
it's a
different.
device.
Yeah, I
or
know.
instrument.
There are two systems for profilimetry. So one is contact and one is the
No,
optical,
it's
as
contact.
far as you know.
Contact.
Contact. So okay. So for the you cured your samples from top and bottom, right?
From the top
From
and the
top
bottom,
and
right,
bottom,
right.
So for 20 seconds,
Yes.
Each side.
Right.
So does this resemble the real clinical situation that we only actually cure only the top surface? So will this be, what's the significance of curing the bottom surface since we will never have this in a real clinical setting?
Sorry, again, please, the last point. Oh.
Okay, you cured your samples
Yes,
from top and bottom, right?
yes.
Okay. So in the clinic, we only cure the top, right?
Right, right.
So what's the significance of the clinical significance when we will relate
to
this
cure
to a
from the
clinical
bottom
situation?
and-
Because the idea of research is have like the clinical validity.
Yes, I have the point, or I get at the point.
Yeah.
We cured it from the bottom and from the top because we know we need to know the whole surface, which internal surface covered with the tooth or attached with the tooth, and the external surface. We need to know about all the surface.
So you
Maybe
want
this
to know
is-
you
this
want
is
to do
for your
roughness for the bottom surface, right?
What?
You want to measure the roughness
Yes,
for the
of
bottom
all- of
surface,
all- yes.
even for the bottom surface.
Yes, right.
So will we have this in the clinic, like for
No,
patients?
it's just for the study, because we need to know the roughness of all the surface. As I mentioned, there are polishing systems, as you see,
Yeah.
as you saw. One of them with water, one of them without water. You know.
So you use the baseline, like you use only the Miller strip as a baseline, and then you polish
We
it
covered
using-
it, right?
So you did you compare between a baseline like a control group and experiment group, or you just only take all of the groups
The
as
control group was with no treatment, with no finishing, with no polishing.
Okay, so once you polymerized your
And
samples,
the result with control group was the lowest value between all of them, or among all groups, you know?
so the Miller strip
There are
is
two results.
better than
What?
the Miller strip is better than the polishing system that we have.
Better?
Yes.
Well, I think it's the same question.
Yeah.
The Soflex one is better because in our clinic we do the finishing for the restorations.
Okay, so after curing your samples, you left them in the room temperature.
What? After polishing?
After polishing.
Yes, what's
your
the better
system.
between them?
No. After you cured your samples,
Yes.
okay, you put them just in the room temperature. You didn't put them in a moist environment. So will you be able to make sure that there was a complete polymerization after the curing? So because all the references that I read was they all put their samples in a 100% moist environment to ensure complete polymerization. So you haven't done this.
What? The last point we have?
You haven't done complete polymerization. So you have to put the samples in, because all the references.
Because of that,
I
we
read-
divided it randomly. One of the system polishing with water coolant, one of them without water.
No. I'm not asking the polishing system now. I'm asking
I
about
didn't get the point.
samples.
Sorry.
Okay, about the samples.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
We have to ensure complete polymerization, which need to be.
Can we
in
have
moist
this as the
contamination.
last question, please, because of the timing?
Okay, the
So,
last.
Osama?
It's okay. Sorry.
No, take the last question, please. Yeah, continue, please. Continue, my friend.
Well, okay.
Continue. No. Continue.
Continue your
I'm done
question,
now.
please.
I guess I'm done now. Thank you.
No problem. Please let him.
No, continue, please. Continue your last
Again, the
question,
question,
please, just
please.
because of the timing. Continue, please.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Any
You are
questions?
free to ask Mr. Osama any question, inshallah, after finishing, but just we are restricting of the time. Thank you so much, Mr. Osama, again,
Thank
for this nice answers and presentations. Just a little announcement that there are presentation going on now at the same time in the M floor. You can ask the organizers about the place at the same time now. So you are free to stay or just see what they have. And we are here continuing, inshallah.